everybody. Welcome to
Gotta get a movie show.
And today we are bringing you, since we're gonna do this on, like, you know what? We were gonna do this on Halloween, but Sean was working that day, so we're gonna do this now. Fuck it, who cares? Today we are giving you our top five video games, well, horror genre video games. These are our personal 5 scary games that have scared the shit out of us, creeped us the fuck out, and made us wet our pants. That's the games we're
There
talking
has been
about.
some games that made me.
I've had a couple games on my list.
It's kind of crazy because I will admit I think some of the scarier moments in games are games that you don't expect to have a scary moment.
Oh yeah.
And then they have one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're just like, whoa,
So,
where'd
who's
that go
gonna
from?
start?
I'll start.
All right, go ahead.
No,
I start. I'm just kidding.
Damn it. My number one scary game, like that I remember that scared the hell out of me, and this is nostalgic basis too. When I was a kid, Resident Evil 2 used to scare the shit out of me, especially with Nemesis in there. When Nemesis just broke out the wall, like you just be shooting zombies, boom,
Dude,
What is that thing?
jump scares always get me, no matter what.
Oh my gosh, that was always crazy with the dogs, freaking demon dogs running around, and then he had to run around that city. Resident Evil 2 always creeped me the hell out. I never actually played it. I just watched my uncle play it because I was like fucking 7.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it used to give me the creeps. That game just freaked me out.
Yeah, that was a scary game. All right, so who's going next?
I'll go. For me, I mean, I never played it, but I've watched people play it. Like, I've heard of watched people play these games to play them.
Yeah.
Because, I don't like that stuff.
I'm gonna fuck up.
But, like, Five Nights at Freddy's, because, like, dude, jump scares always
That
get
game-
I
me.
was gonna put that on my list, but I thought of another scary game that I thought was not scary, and then it went to a horror game.
Dude,
so
like, one,
that's
it
why I
was,
took that off my list.
not that scary. 2, it got scary.
One was
And
pretty scary.
and it's actually darker than even that.
No, well, the story of like
Yeah, the story
yeah,
itself
well,
is
the
dark.
hidden story. There's like a whole hidden story,
Yeah.
and that's even creepier than the game.
Three, like, it wasn't that bad. Then all of a sudden I saw the second thing, like, I was watching people play
The
it.
second game.
The third one.
Oh.
I watched all the people play it, and then, like,
Second game, I think
this
was
one
scarier than
random
first.
thing just popped out, dude. I freaking grabbed my heart and fell back. It was like, oh my
So
god.
you did remember Seth when we did that watching the visit?
Oh,
When
God.
we knew the jump scare was coming.
we knew it,
And we
knew
were
it was
just
coming.
like, ah!
Dude, I didn't see it coming. I just felt I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I think we grabbed each
But dude,
other.
and now there's Five Nights at Freddy 4.
And guess what? They're planning on making it into a movie.
Bro, I'm not seeing
Five
that.
Nights at
No.
Freddy's
That-
Life.
no.
Life.
No.
What is it called? Five Nights at Freddy's Life.
What the
Or Freddy's Life.
the movie?
Yeah.
No, I didn't think it's just gonna be 5 minutes.
If y'all go see that, you're seeing it on
I
your
think
own.
that could
I'm
be a
seeing
pretty
that.
good video
I'm
game
not-
movie.
I'm
It's
seeing that.
basically a built-in horror story.
Well, and that the hidden backstory too. You
Yeah.
could make a whole movie out of that.
Mhm.
The hidden backstory. Anyway, all right.
Dude,
So
there's
my
so
number
many
one.
girls that are obsessed with Five Nights at Freddy's. Like, I know a bunch of girls like dress as them or like the stories and everything. It's like, what the
That's scary, dude. Well, the backstory is what. Well, the hidden lore makes people want to go to it because it's so hidden.
Mhm.
Would you want to go there? I wouldn't.
I would. Well, not in real life.
In real life.
You want to work at Freddy's Pizzeria?
In the
As long as
during
Freddy
the
don't- as long
daytime.
as- I know. During the day, we're good.
During the night.
Why
not
does he
so
have
much.
no gun if there's killer robots?
Do they know that there's killer robots? I've never played the game.
Yeah, the
so
guy
I never
does
saw
know.
them.
Well,
Does
here's
he
the
know that
well.
there's
The
killer
robots in the first game forcefully stuff you in a suit filled with electronic gizmos
And
so that kills
wires.
you. In the second game, you get a jump scare and that's it. Nothing else happens. In the third game, you get a jump scare and nothing else happens. In the fourth game, you get a jump scare and nothing else happens. So
You
technically-
die.
Well,
That's
no,
what happens,
you
you die.
You die. In the first game, you actually see yourself dead. So anyway, all right, I'll move on to my number one. My number one was actually a game of this year. It was Bloodborne. Bloodborne was
I've heard better things that's not scary. I heard it's like
well, it's actually creepy. It's not like scary.
I
But
always-
it was just
I don't know,
really
Because
creepy.
Bloodborne, you're actually whooping their ass, so
I know, but it is really
Kinda
creepy.
makes
The
it less
things that
scary.
you learn, the things that you learn in the game, the things that you see. Good God. And it's just really bizarre.
it looked like a really good game.
Yeah, it was a really good. It was super hard though. Well, I mean, at first it's really hard, but like once I knew like what to do, it just became butter, and that was one thing about it. It was like there was this one scene in the game that really creeped me out. It was to harvest a specific item that you needed to get an ending of the game. There's actually 3 endings, and this was a thing to get one of the 3 endings. And you see like a female sitting in a chair, and you see this really weird worm-looking thingy. And it turns out that was her baby.
Oh.
And it was it was really creepy because I just see her crying and the worm thingy is
Oh,
actually
so
making a baby sound and it's crying, it's wiggling. I'm just like,
I don't know, Seth. That sounds like it need to be on the top 10 disturbing list.
Oh,
yeah, that was disturbing. So anyway,
Ew.
so you have to kill them in order to get the item that you needed. And I was like, what the fuck? So anyway, I had to do it. And then there was this other scene that jump scared me. Apparently, there's this resource in the game called Insight, and Insight allows you to see things that aren't really there.
Oh God.
And if you don't have enough insight and you come across a specific thing,
Nope.
you get grabbed and you get squished by a demon hanging on like a wall. And you can't even see it. So it's like you accidentally just happen to walk under him when that happens. He just grabs you instantly and kills you. He's like, what?
This is why I don't play these games.
It just instantly scares you. But when you have enough insight, you get to see them, and that's kind of
I like having a gun so I can shoot back.
Well, you have guns in Bloodborne. They're just not as powerful as your badass weapons. Well, the weapons in Bloodborne are pretty weird. I mean, like, there's this one weapon called the Kirk Hammer, and it's a silver sword, it's a silver claymore, and then you can turn it into a giant warhammer.
You and claymores.
That's a claymore. That's what.
I don't say you and claymore. You love claymores.
Anyway, so that's my scary
That's
game.
cool.
That was a more disturbing game, and the bosses, holy shit!
I don't know. Disturbing.
Well, actually, it's funny because before we move on to number 2, I want to say this about it. It was like there's this one, they worship these beings called the Great Ones, and here's what I have to say about them: the Great Ones are godlike beings, but they're so disgusting looking and bizarre looking. It was like I wouldn't consider that my god. All right, well one of the Great Ones, the gods, he's got like bone and rib and skeleton for like his upper body, and then he's got like this weird head with a horn with like a flat face, like this really weird hole looking thing. He's got like tentacle for hair. It's just bizarre. I was like, you worship these disgusting looking things?
Yep.
Apparently so. Anyway, what's your number 2?
My number 2, speaking of disturbing, is Silent Hill 2.
Ooh, God.
Silent Hill is one of the most I think, in my opinion, Silent
Psychological
Hill,
horror.
it's the most psychologically. I don't think there's been a game since that fucked with your
The
head
baby
as
and
much
the
as Silent
Oh
Hill.
God.
Silent Hill, even the movie Silent Hill fucked me up a little bit.
Yeah, it wasn't. Well, the movie wasn't as scary, but it was fucked up.
It was like a even because then you were like, wait, is he dead? Is he not dead? What's
I
happening?
think he's alive.
I don't even know. I still don't know. I never finished the game.
Dude, I watched the interactive thing they had on like PlayStation and stuff like that. I watched someone play that. And dude, the freaking baby, the Saint Creep, I was like, no!
Oh, PT?
No!
Oh, yeah, they got
yeah.
this guy with the pyramid on his head, freaking killing. Who's got this huge ass hammer and just chopping people up. And
I
he's
remember
raping.
Silent Hill Downpour when you were going through the minecart and like at first it was like a weird minecart ride, and then all of a sudden it was like things were starting to ooze out of the walls and things were changing. And at the very end of the ride, you see this demon head or like this weird thing, this head, and he's just like, "Welcome to your nightmare." He said something like that, and then all of a sudden you start rushing backwards. You just start like high speeding backwards, and like everything's getting worse. And all of a sudden, when you get to the beginning of the ride backwards, it just stops. It's like, what the fuck did I just witness? That's the kind of reaction I got from it.
Like Silent
Hill's pretty fucked up.
It is a really.
It's not a scary
even the
game.
It might be one. It's
Psychologically, it's
even
scary.
when you're playing through the game, not even the cutscenes. Like you're playing and all you hear is the wind. Like
Yeah.
they don't have any. You just hear,
no, that's
and,
never
you,
good.
and it's all foggy, so you can't really see where you're going. You just hear, you hear something sliding. What the fuck was that?
No, you know what I hate most of all?
Yeah.
You know what I hate
That
most of all in those kinds of games?
Oh
The
man.
freaking little kids singing or something. I'm like, no!
Well, here's the biggest thing in some of these games.
Stop singing!
The dolls in those games.
No!
I hate
Not the
dolls
dolls.
in games. I hate dolls in real life because I'm always scared that like
Creepy.
no. It'll be my luck. It'll be my bad luck that one day I'm just gonna pass by a doll that like a slush of wind or someone accidentally hits it when I'm not looking and it turns its head and looks at me.
You're gonna
I'm just
shoot
like,
it.
ah!
Boom, boom, boom. Why'd you shoot our doll?
It moved!
It moved. It was like, no, I just bumped into it.
It Oops.
Yeah, oops. Anyway, so was that all you got
Me.
on Silent Hill?
I could go on, but we got it. You're number 2.
This was a game.
Well, no, we don't have to do this a quick video.
This game is actually what made the anime. I haven't watched it, but I have friends that have watched it, and it's a horror show, dude. Freaking Corpse Party.
Is that a game?
It's a game for the PSP, and it became an anime. But dude, I'm gonna tell you this right now: Corpse Party is without a doubt.
Is that a gross game or is that a scary game?
Mixture of both.
Well, I guess Silent Hill's a big
It is the
Silent Hill isn't that
it is
gross
the
as some
goriest,
horror
most
movies.
brutal, most disturbing anime / game you could ever witness.
I'm glad I'm never gonna witness it. So,
Like
wow.
seriously, this thing is a freaking horror show. Like you have never seen anything this bad. I haven't watched it, but I've heard things about it, and I'm like, oh my god. Because dude, I heard the freaking like, oh, I don't even want to remember, dude.
Yeah, dude, don't bring it up.
Literally,
I'm pretty squeamish when it comes to
some of the
gore.
most brutal ways you could think of to die are in that.
Damn.
And I mean, like, freaking, oh,
All right. Wow.
God.
Just the sheer memory of
I
it making Mark shudder.
I still disagree with my friends. They need to watch it. I'm like, fuck
No.
you, fuck you, fuck you.
Nah, I think I'm good.
I'm like, no, not watching it, no.
Oh man. All right. So my
Number two.
next game is an indie game that came out a while ago, but now the full game is released. Silent Hill. SCP Containment Breach. Holy mother of God! This game scares the shit out of you because there's so many monsters in the game that have like different aspects. All right, so the main villain is SCP-173, and here's the thing about him: if you have to look at him, you have to stare at him, or else he moves and kills you. If you blink, no, but if you blink, and there's a blink function in the game, if you blink, he kills you.
What?
So it's like the only way to avoid him is like you have to stare at him, go through a door, close the door, keep staring in that direction until you feel comfortable enough to stare away. Because like if you get to a certain distance, he can't follow you that quickly. So there is like a little buffer zone,
So basically, it's like a staring contest.
basically. And if you blink, you're dead. And there's this other guy.
High stakes.
There's this other monster, and there's a lot of other SCPs in there too. But there's this other monster who dresses like an Italian doctor. He's like the beast mask, the beak mask. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like the one you saw.
Yeah, and if he touches you, you're fucked. And if you go down into the basement, the subtunnels, there's like a dark shadow skeleton ghost that follows you. It is scary.
Why do I feel like this is just like some containment breach? I think some experiments.
Well, no. The whole SCP Foundation itself is like a whole backstory. There's like thousands of SCPs that like each one of them are unique. And it's funny, like SCP-001. It says on the on their website, it says if anyone reads this, they're gonna die of cardiac arrest. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
And like SCP-002 is like a big blob of like this bio thing, and if you go inside of it, like of SCP-002, it looks like a low budget apartment room, but all the furniture is made out of skin, bones, guts, organs, and everything like that. But anyway, point being is that like when you're in this game, you start off with absolutely nothing, and it's quiet. You know, I mean, like, you hear like the alarm going off as the containment breach, like the alarm going off, and then it gets really quiet.
I think that the subtlety of silence is not used a lot.
Yeah, it's not. And then it's quiet, and then you start
here
walking, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, and then you hear the noise and the sound effect when the SCP comes close to you. You're like, it's like, wait, gotta stare at him, shit, I'm about to blink. You blink and you're dead. It's just like, it's a scary game. But also, it is heart pounding because you got to get away from them, and sometimes like you might back yourself in a corner accidentally, and it's just like shit. There's no way out. Fuck, and then you die again. And there's this one other dude. There's one other monster that's scary as fuck because if you look at him, you were fucked. If you if you glance at him, you're fucked. But if you don't look at him, you're fine. But if you look at him and you try to run away, no matter where you go in the building, he follows you. And he tries to get you. Now, you can go all over the building, and he doesn't stop looking for you. He always gets you if you look at him. So it's like no matter where you run in the building, he's always running after you.
That sounds like a really bad Slender stalker.
Yeah, he's like a super tall and skinny white monster with like bloody hands, like red claws. He's pretty fucked up.
Slenderman.
Yeah, and so anyway, he just does this with his hands out, like running like this, trying to catch you the entire time you're trying to run around the building.
Frankenstein.
And he doesn't stop. So it's like if you stop to like open a door, he's still running after you.
No.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up, scary, guys. Anyway, I could go on about that, how scary it is, but you go on.
My number 3 is a game that I played a long time ago, and I recently played it again, and didn't realize how creepy it was when I first played it. It's a game called The Condemned, and it's about this this murderer who like he was experimented on, and he has like this monster inside of him.
Oh God.
And like something happened, and the monster got let loose, and he killed his wife and kid, and he went to jail for it. And he feels awful about it. He doesn't even remember it happening though. He feels awful. He doesn't know what happened, and he's in jail. And the jail apparently is like just comes to life, and it takes a form of its own. But the creativity of these monsters, like there's a monster that it's a representation of how certain people die. But there's a monster who was killed by firing squads. They're alive and they have guns all through their bodies, and they let bullets.
That's pretty unique.
There's a monster who got killed by hanging, and he drops down from this raptor's hanging and grabs you and tries to kill you. And that game is so freaky. There's a monster who got electrocuted in a chair, but he was a spirit who got wrongfully accused and electrocuted in a chair, and you have to put his soul to rest.
Really?
And that game is creepy as.
That's weird.
That game
That
is
is weird.
that game is really out there. Now there's a sequel that is debatably better, but the sequel I only like because it was more action packed. The first one was definitely more psychological because it was the different monsters were out there, and that game was definitely freaky, especially the quiet. They use silence because I was just talking about that. They use silence in that game to perfection. Plus, you're in this huge jail prison trying to get out, and every time you try to get out, something happens or a creature stops you from getting out. And like it is, man. It's out there, man. That game is out there.
Jeez. All right. So Mark, you number 3.
Oh, this isn't a scary game, but it does have parts that made you jump because the jump scares. Like you remember, I'm sure Seth, like you like the old Halos, right?
Yeah.
You remember every time the flood came, dude? Those that'd scare the crap out of you, dude. Just them jumping at you and everything. Or
Yeah, it's just like
their levels were so creepy.
Yeah.
It gave you creeps. They're just like, I don't wanna.
Yeah, those
Bring
levels
the
are
Covenant.
creepy.
I don't want the flood.
Yeah, the floods are really, really creepy. I will admit that.
But dude, every time one of those jumped in, I was like, I don't. No, shoot, die.
Die!
Just like, what? Don't you go away?
All
You
right.
zombies.
Yeah. All right, my number 4. This is number 4. Yeah, no, my number 4 is a game that starts off action packed, but then it takes a really scary twist. I mean, not like scary as in like psychological scary, but it's scary because like Far Cry 1. That game starts off action packed, like the first about like I'd say about like the first couple hours of the game, but then you get into like the meat of the game and you find out why these guys are here, what they're doing. There's this private organization that's mutating animals and people, and when you go into the mutated animals habitat, that's when shit hits the fan because these guys can come out of anywhere, they can come out of nowhere. Like if you drop to the ground, you're dead. I mean, like these things can just pop out behind you, start running after you. They're like they're pale albino-looking animals that just start running after you from out of nowhere. So you gotta like conserve your ammo and your health and just kind of like take them out as you go. And it's like, what'd you say?
I said like nerds at the sci-fi convention.
Oh well, God, no, it was scary. And then it only got progressively scarier because of like sometimes like I'm like both mutated and the normal humans can come out of nowhere. And then once you got in like the bunker, which is like the last like level of the game, that got the scariest because it was like dark, it was creepy. There was barely any sound, and like you encounter both mutants and humans in there. It just went from like action packed to like it got like scary or like heart racing scary. Like I mean your heart's like going 1,000 miles a second because like you gotta conserve ammo, you gotta conserve health pack shit. So anyway, that was Far Cry 1, my number 4. Which number 4?
My number 4 is I'm debating between 2, but I might go with Doom 3. Or is it
Doom 3? I didn't even think about that one.
Doom 3 was because you had to switch because
Doom 3 wasn't as scary, but it was creepy.
Before the mod, it was scary because before the mod, you had to switch between a flashlight and a gun.
Yeah.
And doing that whole thing,
I'm glad that the mod came out that allowed you.
And you couldn't really keep doing like in the beginning, you couldn't really keep doing that, and like you just be walking in the dark for like half the game.
But some people didn't like Doom because like it took away from. Well, that's why I'm glad they're making a new Doom because it's going back to the original. Because the original games are just you just run around shooting demons. Yeah. And in this one, you're kind of like you're you're not a marine in this one. You're like a survivor.
You're still running around shooting demons. You're just
with the ultimate Doom shotgun, his OP weapon.
Yeah, I mean, you still run around shooting demons, but I did find that game so freaking creepy, especially when I was younger. Nowadays, I still kind of find it creepy when I play it now, but I did find it so creepy just because the creatures, like they make weird noises, and there's some weird ass creatures in Doom. There's like this dude with a baby body and like a demon.
Yeah, oh god,
I was just like,
scary.
Whoa.
And then sometimes when you're in the vent, do you remember when you're in the vent, those small guys come after you? Because I mean, well, no, the scary part about that part was that like it was dead silent in the vents until you start hearing screeching noise, and then it's like, oh shit, I wonder what that is. And all of a sudden they start running down the vents after you,
like wrenches off gears.
Pretty much.
I remember playing Doom in my heart pounding. Like
that was
what's
a hard
coming, what's coming, and it was difficult because you had to keep switching back and forth. Man, that game.
Yeah, that was a hard pounding game. Whew. It's sort of like SCP Containment Breach. That was another hard pounding game. Anyway,
people might call me a wuss for this, but
oh boy,
I would say there is definitely those creepy and scary moments in the Arkham series of games because like
or creepy.
Because I mean,
scary.
think of the psychological creepy things that are in there that just disturb you, and then think about like in Arkham Knight, like the man bat when he jumps at the building, or he jumps up. Dude, that scared the crap out. I did not see that coming. I was like,
But
"Ow!"
Man bat.
But then again, you're Batman.
Not only that, dude, when freaking Joker pops up or something in Arkham Knight on the building, dude, every time I'm just like, just like, jeez, what the fuck?
You know what that reminded me of?
Can't be that scared. Can't be that
That
scared.
reminded me of
Mark, you're
Scooby
playing
Doo.
as Batman. No.
Yes,
No.
it was a Scooby
No.
jumping into Shaggy's arms and he got scared.
Shaggy sometimes jumps into Scooby's
It-
arms.
it
Yeah,
is-
sometimes that too.
I'm joking with that. It didn't scare me that much, but it did make me jump. I was like, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was pretty.
Because
Weird.
like, and not like that, dude. Just the psychological weird things in this game is like it's creepy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, the one thing about Arkham Asylum, I remember like the tales of Amadeus Arkham, like the guy that founded the facility and then he went crazy. It was like
That's a creepy story right there.
that is a creepy story because I mean like he wanted to help criminals heal and then he ended up getting electrocuted and then he went crazy.
Being electrocuted?
Yeah, well, it was like a malfunction in like the electric chair or something like that. Or no, man, well, this was back when like
Was it shock therapy?
yeah, this was back when those were around and then like he accidentally got like and then like the thing malfunctioned and he got shocked and he went crazy. I mean, no, like in Batman, you actually find Amadeus Arkham's cell. You find his cell that he was in, that he lived in. I mean, like it's all covered in those weird like beetle marks, those
Yeah.
weird things. It was there's some weird moments in that game.
But yeah, I mean, like Arkham Knight was a really fun game to play, but it's also pretty creepy.
Yeah,
So like, I mean, like it's just like in Batman, he's got a lot of creepy stuff.
He's
in
got a
his
lot of
games.
dark. These
Do you
villains
remember
are dark
when you were
and
playing as
creepy.
Joker in first person and you're in like Batman's mind trying to take it over? Or
Yeah.
no, it was like a mix between Batman and Joker's
And
mind.
you shoot like stone statues. with
Yeah, and
the
then they
gun
just kept
everything.
popping all over the place. It's just like, I mean, first when you see it, you shoot, it's like, that's not nothing.
It's like,
and all
what
of
is
a sudden,
Joker?
it's just like,
You see,
and then all of
Joker's afraid of being alone. He's afraid of Batman.
and then like Batman like kicks him into a cell, and then like that kind of locks Joker away permanently. It's just like, well,
It's
there
it's
you go.
Because, like, yeah, generally. So,
All right,
okay,
so
what's
number
your
5, man, I'm stuck between
I'm stuck between two games too.
I'm stuck between two games. I'm gonna do one as an honorable mention, and another one number 5. My number 5. I'm gonna go number 5 first. Outlast with the Whistleblower DLC. Holy
Outlast is pretty scary.
gosh, that game is both disgusting, psychologically torturing, scary, heart racing, scary, and jump scary.
You freaking lose your fingers.
Yeah,
Scary.
And well, in the DLC, the Whistleblower. Have you seen the Whistleblower DLC?
No, I don't want to.
There's there's this one scene in there that this guy, he's obviously one of the inmates, but he's trying to build his perfect wife out of a man.
Please tell me that's not what I think it is. Please tell me it's not what I think it is. No.
Yeah, and there's this one scene where he puts you to sleep using gas, and you briefly wake up to look at the process that he's doing this in. And you don't really see anything.
Please tell me you're not saying what I think you're gonna say.
So anyway, you see a naked guy obviously he's naked, but you don't see, the stuff. But anyway, you see a naked guy on a table, and the guy's covering it,
No.
and he takes his big serrated knife,
No.
and he just starts chopping away like this.
Oh no. No.
He's trying to create his perfect wife, and as he's doing this, he's just like, "Honey, I need you to stop bleeding so much." I found that funny because it was like, "Stop bleeding so much while I'm cutting through your genitals and your asshole." And there's this one other scene before you meet him where you see he created he attached tits to a man. He cut off the guy's head, and the head was like right here. Anyway, but this part
My ice cream is coming back.
Yes, we're doing that. All right.
I'm just getting creeped out.
So anyway, and there's this one other thing.
No.
It's not gross. It's not gross. It's so and this is when you see the depth of his madness because you walk into this auditorium stadium thing and you see all these bodies hanging up on the ceiling, and you're about to be one of them. All of his failed experiments.
No.
And there's this other guy who's a cannibal and he tries to eat you. And then there's this one other dude. Well, the actual wall rider, the ghost, tries to kill you a couple times, but he ends up saving you at the end. And then it turns out the whistleblower was the one that actually got out because in the first game you played as another guy, but he got killed. So it was
he lived.
no, the whistleblower lived, even though he got stabbed in the gut. And he took the reporter's jeep who died in the first game, which I thought was kind of funny. But it was really cool because the whistleblower and the original Outlast game were happening at the same time, technically, but not like.
Oh, that was that was a very nasty thing you
Yeah,
told
but
us.
it was, and then also like the psychological horror came into play, like when it was like you were just alone in the dark and you had like just like your video came like night vision and you had to like hope and pray nothing was behind a corner, and then there's other guys you had to hide from a big guy in a locker and hope and hopefully he doesn't search your locker.
I remember that just,
Yeah.
there you are, it throws you.
Yeah, and that parts are really scary, but it was also really gross, like what I described to them. That's what I witnessed.
No.
Well, it was actually really cool because you're about to be his next victim, right? You're naked.
No!
Wait. And then like the guy who tries to eat you saves you, and then you actually get out. So it was like just before he saws you in half, or he tries to like turn you into a woman.
No.
The cannibal guy comes up and punches him, and you're able to get out. Which was like, thank you, cannibal man. I'd give you my finger to eat, but I need it.
Oh,
Please eat him for
Sean,
me.
please, less disturbing.
Anyway, that was my number 5. Well, wait, I did not bring up my honorable mention. My honorable mention has to go to not Silent Hill. What am I saying? Is the what horror game was it? It was a not Five Nights at Freddy's. It was a horror game called. It was like a little indie horror game, and it was called Layers of Fear. It's actually recent. It's a recent game. That game is not gross, but it's such a mind fuck. Everything that's happening. I mean, you're going through layers of this guy's madness. Like the story is like he's an artist who lost his family and he goes nuts. And you see that as you're going through this game because I mean like as soon as you go through this game, it's just like first it's like, okay, this is like a normal house, but then like once he gets like to the room where he paints, it's just like then like when you walk out of his door, his house has changed. And like, you keep going through this weird changing house and things are happening. And then the scariest part of the game was like when you were in this elevator and you go past 2 floors before you get to destination, then you see something moving, and it's like, what the fuck was that?
No.
That's not supposed to be here.
No, I'm done. Turns off game. I'm done. No.
And then like the first floor is when you see this weird, like this weird gray figure that's just walking away from the elevator. He's not walking towards the elevator. He's walking away from the elevator. You can't see it. And it's just like, what the fuck was that? And then like, you get to the next floor, it's just utter darkness, and you hear noise, and then the next one is your destination. That's all lit up. So anyway, all right. That was my honorable mention. What is your number 5?
Well, like I have one too. I was stuck between 2 games, but I decided to go with this one because this one actually did scare the shit out of me and made me. And I didn't even know what the big whoop was about it. Dead Space. Dead Space 2.
Dead Space 2. 2. Well, 1 I think was more scarier than 2. In my opinion.
Space zombies.
I thought Dead Space 1 was cool. Like I thought
no, you have to play all 3 games to know.
I didn't play all 3. I just played 1 and 2. But 2 creeped me. Like 1 creeped me the hell out. 2. Don't get me wrong. 2, I was a little bit less creeped, but I like 2 because I think they did a little bit more psychological things than 2.
Oh yeah, they did. Well, then, like 1 was more like jump scary and like not like psychological, but shocking you. It was like, well, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, because it was the first time your character was experiencing. Exactly. So that's what I love about 2. But 1, but 2 was more psychological. You kept seeing.
Yeah, because like Isaac was going insane because of what he got from the red marker on that planet where he found it. I can't remember the planet's name.
I can't remember either.
And it was really funny. But in 3, spoiler alert, if you don't want to know what happens in the end of 3, just pause the video now or skip it. Are you gone? All right. In 3, Mark, like this is what happened. It turns out that there were other species that that suffer from the necromorph problem, and this is what happens to each species.
Sounds like zombie necro.
Well, no, they're not zombies. Well, I mean, I guess you could technically call them
zombies.
No. There's one specific.
Chop you in half.
Well, there is one specific necromorph that turns you into one. So I guess maybe you could call them zombies anyway. It was like, so what happens is that like so anyway, like once there's enough people who, or like I can't remember. It was like you have to build a specific marker, and what that marker, the really big one does is like it takes the entire species, every single like member of the entire species, and turns it into a moon. And what that moon is a necromorph, but it's a living necromorph. It is a gigantic necromorph with tentacles, and it's weird. And there's like 12 of these moons. There's like a whole lot of them, and it turns out like at the end of the game, spoiler alert again, this is what happens at the end of the game, that it turns out one of these moons was cast on Earth, and like now all humanity's fucked because now they're one of these like demon moons. So,
well, great, we're all screwed.
well, that's only if the marker is activated.
So, Deshaun, anything else?
Well, no, but I was about to keep talking about it. Dead Space, man, there are some creepy jumps. You talk about some like, cause there'll be parts where there's a monster just laying on the ground, and it might be dead.
And then all of a sudden he's not dead.
Like, oh my gosh!
There are a lot of necromorphs in that game. It's just like, all right, yeah, he's dead.
And you have to chop them up completely up, or they'll
You have
just
to
keep
dismember
coming.
them. You have to
Yeah, they'll
dismember
keep coming. Like I chop one at like I always go for the head, and they'll still keep coming around their heads.
I know
Like,
you have to chop off their legs
they
and arms.
are creepy, and there's
And, you can use it. I'm not like, you know the bladed necromorphs have the blades for arms. Like, I mean, you can use.
you
their
can
arms
like
as,
take that
weapons.
and yeah,
Use it as a
dart it
weapon.
at them. There are some, that game was really creepy, especially when you see some people get killed. Especially the beginning of part 2, the beginning. When you just wake up in that thing and the guy's like, yeah, and then it gets you out, and then you get stabbed, and then you just see his face rip apart. I was like, what the?
Yeah, it's like,
going
oh, I finally
on?
found you. I mean, come on, man. Like, I gotta get you out of here. And all of a sudden, you see that one necromorph that turns other people into necromorphs, and he starts like, and he's like, it's just like he just starts turning into a necromorph right in front of you.
Oh my god!
And then he gets to no, you hit him, and then you get to run away from him. But that scene when you're in the mental hospital, like everyone's turning into a necromorph.
Yeah, you're just
everyone's
running through there. I was like, oh
that
my
part
god!
fucked me up.
I'm like, I'm about to fucking die.
And then the one guy slits his own throat because he descends into madness. No, it was the doctor. The doctor was split into madness and killed himself.
Oh, like
that game was psychologically.
And then there's this
creepy.
one guy who was like tied down to like well, I think he's
He was
strapped
tied down to a table and he's still
you're
trying
to get him
squirt.
out. You're trying to. He's like, oh, hurry up! He's like, shit, trying to help get him out. And then the thing came in there and chopped his freaking head off.
It's like, well, shit.
Man, that game is freaking intense.
That game was intense.
I was stuck between that and Alien Isolation.
Well, you can do that as an honorable mention.
Yeah, I
That's
thought
what I
Alien Isolation was a really
Alien
game.
Isolation, I don't know why I didn't have that in my list, but it wasn't like scary. It was just heart racing.
It definitely because to
me it wasn't scary.
It was heart racing and
Because
had to
like
be on
if
point.
the xenomorph got you, you were screwed.
Yeah.
It was one hit kill, and that was the one thing is like that really made my heart go. It's like shit. If he
Yeah, it's not. It's like this ain't
hold your breath in
Colonial.
the locker.
This ain't Colonial Marines. You ain't gonna just get
And
hit and keep
sometimes
going.
though, you ever do that in a locker where you hold your breath along with Ripley to see if it's like go away xenomorph.
It only happens if I've done it, if I tried this a billion times, and I'm like, come on, God,
It's
let
kinda-
me get past this part.
It reminds me, like, you know, when you play Pokemon, you throw a Pokeball, you lock your fingers onto the trigger, it's just like, stay in the Pokeball!
Yeah.
Stay in the Pokeball!
Stay in the ball. Stay in the ball.
Yeah, like Alien Isolation was a heart racing game, and then it turns out that like the ending was kind of bullshit though, but that was still a pretty fun game. You're number 5, and if you have an honorable mention, you can use it, or you can
I'd
have it.
say every moment in Gears, like, it been involved in Berserker. Because you're like, you know when you play the original
Gears
and
was
the
a little.
Berserker?
Gears did have.
It
some
had
freaking
its
moments.
moments.
No,
It
the
wasn't-
reason I say this is the first time I played Gears 1, like, the moment they brought in the Berserker, your heart was going because how scary that thing was to you, like, at first.
I remember Gears 3 when you're in the Corpser nest.
That was pretty creepy.
Jeez, that one was just like, oh shit.
That wasn't
eggs.
that bad, I don't think so.
And then it's just like
no, in
rocks
Gears
falling.
3, you know, it was creepy. The freaking lambent humans, dude. That was freaking scary as shit.
That was pretty weird. Well, and then you're in the sewers trapped with them.
No.
That part got me. I was like, oh shit,
No, dude, but then
these
you know,
guys
like, was-
explode.
You were, ma'am, are you okay? I was like, ah!
Scooby Doo.
I guess she's okay. I guess she's okay.
I was like, oh god, shoot her, shoot her,
Ma'am.
shoot her.
I think you have a cold,
Oh,
man.
I have an idea for our next video. Top 5 childhood video games.
That doesn't. But
Hey,
it's not gonna make any. But it's not gonna be much different
half
from
a
my
light
other
of your
one.
Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z.
Childhood video games. Anyway, all right. So like, was that, well, so
I mean-
you have an honorable mention that you could have put as number 5, but didn't.
You know.
I could have. I mean, I don't play a lot of scary games, but if a few things could have said, I could have said like the jump scares and the crypt in Mortal Kombat X, because like you don't expect that. I didn't know they were in there, and then I saw.
Well,
them.
yeah, because like you unlock one thing and it turns out it's a jump scare.
Yeah,
Because
true.
like you're going through, you see like a wolf charge at you, or you see a spider jump at you, you see a zombie come out of the blood, like.
You know one game that had some creepy things in it? Fallout 3.
Oh,
When you went to the sewers and those freaking
do you remember the Dunwich building
Oh man. that
with the
was-
weird monolith in the basement?
Yeah.
That thing. You know what the weird part about that game is, guys? Is that like they're
There's
actually.
some real
And then
creepy
you know,
moments
if
in
you
Fallout
kill
3.
Three Dog, no, it was like if you blow up Raven Rock, then you kill Three Dog at like a specific time in the game. The like Fallout, the Galaxy News turns into a number station, and it starts broadcasting numbers. But it's Three Dog, but he's not. He doesn't sound the same.
Okay.
That was creepy because Mel, you just hear his voice going 4, 3, 5, 8, 7, and I'm like, this is Galaxy News.
We have been on this for 33 minutes.
Yeah, we've been doing this for a
Seriously?
while. We've been doing this for a while.
Holy moly!
I
Yeah.
tell you we talk too much, but you say no. We're gonna make it a short
I
video.
said we don't need to go
Sticks.
crazy with. I mean,
On
no.
this-
I said we don't need to go short with this.
End it out. End it out.
All right.
Even
so-
though that does sound creepy, I might go do it now.
Well, it's actually super hard to get, but anyway.
Damn it.
Anyway, so that was our top 5 scary video games.
Holy shit.
Our next video will probably be shorter than this one, but anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us on,
Count Game Movie Show.
and we will see you
on the next one.
Bye bye. Damn, that was long.